It is a calm Sunday evening outside in Raleigh, and there's a championship feel in the warm capital city air tonight. North Carolina State enters the finals in the driver's seat of the 2023 ACC Wrestling Championship as they look to put the finishing touches in front of this home crowd. Brady leading the Virginia Tech contingency. NC State represented with Faison, Mekhi Lewis, and Trent Hidley, a pair of two-time ACC champs looking for number 3 here tonight. Behind a strong semifinal round, North Carolina State clearly in the driver's seat. The Wolfpack with 8 finalists, 87.5 points. Virginia Tech second, Pitt sitting third. All 6 schools represented with at least 1 finalist here tonight. And a pleasant good evening. Sean Kenny alongside former UVA wrestler, longtime Division I official, Rock Harrison. Great to have you with us. Rock, a lot of people thought this might be a 3-team race today. Not the case. NC State sent a loud and clear statement.
They had a fantastic semifinal round. Semifinalists were 8, and they're not just satisfied with semifinalists, they won 8 champions.
8 finalists tonight for the Wolfpack. And speaking of championship performances, there is a ton of veterans back looking for their second and third ACC titles.
When you look at those highlighted matches, there are 5 individuals that are going for their third ACC championships. They want it bad, and they want to be in ACC history.
We are going to close out the night at 157. Bryce Endonian, one of the more electrifying wrestlers in all of college wrestling. The national champ from UNC has been a bonus point machine. All the finals tonight from Raleigh. It has been quite an impressive run of dominance for North Carolina State as they seek their 5th consecutive ACC title. Really, the 2 schools, NC State and Virginia Tech, over the past decade, leading to the forefront. Virginia, the one exception in 2015, but you have to go all the way back to the 1954 through 1973 seasons when Maryland won 20 consecutive ACC titles that we have seen a run like the Wolfpack have put together under Pat Popolizio. We start tonight at 165. Justin McCoy, the lone finalist for Virginia, the number 2 seed, ready to take on Connor Brady, the 4 seed, 14-8 this year for Brady as he gets ready to compete for his first ACC championship.
What a way to start off a Commonwealth clash between Virginia and Virginia Tech. I like we got some fire up in here.
Here comes Justin McCoy, the 5th year from New Paris, Pennsylvania, the 2-time ACC runner-up. He has had near misses in the last 2 campaigns. Will this be the year he brings an ACC title back to Charlottesville? His opponent, Connor Brady, the redshirt sophomore, even though he still carries a sophomore tag, Brady is certainly a seasoned veteran, the 2-time NCAA qualifier, looking for his first ACC championship in his 3rd appearance, and we are underway tonight, a championship Sunday in Raleigh.
Let's talk about Connor Brady as a 4 seed. He had a fantastic, absolutely well-planned out win against Heller from Pitt in the semifinals.
First shot of the match coming from Justin McCoy, easily corralled by Brady. McCoy back up to his feet.
McCoy needs to use his athleticism to keep it moving and to use everything in his arsenal to keep moving and continue to create offense. Whereby Brady needs to go back to his high C's and solid defense.
McCoy, the 3-time NCAA qualifier, 3 consecutive years, twice at 157. Last year was his first go-around at 165, and he told us he's feeling a lot more comfortable this second year up weight at 65. He's put a lot less pressure on himself this season. He's more relaxed with his approach. And the results certainly speak
Keep the hands clean.
volumes of where he has grown this year in his final go-around for the Cavaliers.
They wrestled each other several times already. Not too much feeling out.
Got starring red, Green's taking all the shots.
Call will come in and they tag Brady with it. Brady's trying to drive into an underhook right after the call.
And that's what McCoy's supposed to do. We said he's athletic. He needs to keep the motion and continue to fire shots. He's very good once he creates offense in scramble position. He has a very good body awareness, spatial awareness.
1 minute, one
You know,
minute.
Rock, it's interesting when you look at Virginia. Steve Garland does not have as many finalists as he was hoping yet. The future looks bright for the Cavaliers. He has brought in 2 consecutive really good recruiting classes as Brady comes in with his first offense. But there is the athleticism that you were talking about from McCoy.
That was a fire shot there by Brady, but really good athleticism, as you said, by McCoy. I thought he was going to get taken down.
30.
Yes, sir.
No score,
Work
final
center,
few
stay
moments in this first period.
Brady, very good at defense, but he has a really good high C to the right leg of his opponents. Short time, again, feeling each other out, little nerves, even though they wrestled before. It's the ACC Finals, a little more at stake. Seeding for the NCAAs.
No score after 1. Steve Garland, the winningest coach in Virginia history. He passed George Edwards a few years ago in 2020. As a wrestler, he won the ACC title back in 1997 at 125 pounds, your former teammate.
Good dude, good dude.
Red. Stay set, remember, set whistle. All you agree?
See, Garland is behind, and many times with coaches and wrestlers, they just pick the right person that fits their personality, that fits their style. And obviously the Paulsons are the ones that the coaches for McCoy.
Travis and Trent Paulson, the 2 assistants for Virginia. Travis, the 3-time All-American at Iowa State. Trent, the 2007 NCAA national champion at 157. Brady gets the quick point. 1-0, Connor Brady here in the second period.
Brady has the offense, just waiting for him to explode like he did in the first period. Tap and go, bang ahead, go to your high C.
He's been warned, Justin. Stay on him.
You hear the Paulson say he's been warned, Justin, meaning that McCoy has worked and got a stall call against Brady. And he just got to keep shooting. Keep shooting.
Both wrestlers improve.
Long range shot by McCoy. Brady disengages with 60 seconds to go. Second period, both wrestlers keeping it pretty tight to the vest so far. Talking with Tony Roby about the development of Connor Brady. He has matured a lot this year. Talent was never an issue. It was always revolving around the confidence for him. Connor Brady believing in himself, and Virginia Tech coaching staff feels he has turned the corner this year and is ready to go even deeper at nationals, and it could all start tonight, possibly with an ACC championship. One of 5 Hokies wrestling for an ACC title throughout the 10 weights.
Short time again, and McCoy has to continue to create the offense.
Short.
This is going into what Connor Brady wants, like a close match, and he can explode for his opportunity.
Two-time ACC Coach of the Year is Tony Roby in his 6th season. He was just given an extension of his contract that will keep him in Blacksburg through the 2028 season. Well-deserved for the job that he has done. Long-time assistant, Coach Kevin Dresser. Dresser took the job in Ames to guide Iowa State. Roby was clearly the choice, and he has taken this program in a consistent contender in the ACC.
Not just in the ACC, but on a national level, Virginia Tech is known across the country, not just on the East Coast.
So tied at 1. Obviously, riding time not a factor. Who will be able to crack the other's defense first? McCoy started on a double, tried to switch it off to a single. Good job there by Brady, stifling it.
Brady has got to create some offense because the official is seeing what we're seeing, that McCoy's looking like he's more on the offense.
Well, McCoy changes it up and goes to that 2-on-1. Boy, he's really stepping on the gas, dictating the flow, putting a lot of pressure on Brady.
1 minute.
He's in on the shot. Now, Brady has got to be very careful because Justin McCoy is very good here. They're going to keep rolling and keep rolling until somebody gets more height. And at this point, Brady needs to put his foot down on the mat and crunch forward. That left foot right there, he's got to put it forward now. Looks like a danger position. Brady's in a good position here. But look at the athleticism. Here it is. The athleticism of Justin McCoy. The patience we said earlier. He can scramble. He's not worried when he's in those positions.
McCoy gets the takedown late. Look at the veteran keep his right toe in as long as he could. Couple more seconds off the clock. 23 to go, and the match's first takedown from McCoy.
Then we got that caution, set whistle,
that he did earlier in the semifinals. But because Justin McCoy's a little more athletic, he was able to scramble around and get to the takedown. Up 3-1, 23 seconds left.
Take a deep breath, all right? Take a deep breath, relax.
Brady's got to believe it's not over yet. He's got to believe he has an opportunity to win this.
Set.
All starts with getting out from underneath. Brady looking for a switch. He is away, and now he has to come right at McCoy. Short time wrestling, 10 seconds to decide an ACC champion. Brady bringing everything at him. McCoy dodging, backing off, and the ACC championship to Virginia. And it is Justin McCoy. The third time, the charm, Steve Garland, a big smile on his face. The Cavaliers with their one finalist, and McCoy delivers.
McCoy delivered based upon what his strengths were. His strengths were being athletic and being very good in the scramble position, and he got that one flurry in the third period, which came out on top. Virginia has their first ACC champion.
Congratulations.
174, Mekhi Lewis, the top seed, 17-1 this year, taking on Alex Faison of NC State, ranked 27th, maybe the unsung hero for the Wolfpack this year during the dual season. They weren't sure what to expect at this weight. Faison, after patiently waiting in the wings for his opportunity, has made the most of it this year. He powers his way into the final, but can he figure out the national champion and last year's runner-up, Mekhi Lewis?
You're absolutely right. Alex Faison is the most underappreciated wrestler on NC State teams. No one really knows who he is except for the NC State room. But he's going against our returning national champion. Mekhi Lewis is the most heavily favored top seed at the ACC tournament.
Here comes Lewis, the 2019 NCAA champion. What a run it was to the championship for Mekhi Lewis that year. He beat Marinelli, beat Evan Wick, took down Vincenzo Joseph to earn the Hokies' first ever national championship. He was so close last year, ended up as the runner-up, losing to Carter Starace in a tiebreaker 6-5. Lewis trying to bring Virginia Tech an ACC title, and a little bit later on in Tulsa, the program's second national championship. One thing watching Lewis throughout the years, he is a master of the counter offense. You better be prepared. If you fire the initial shot, you know that Lewis is coming right back at you.
What we've seen more in this tournament is not just his counter offense, which we all know about, but he's done a lot of fakes. Fakes to get his opponent moving, and then as soon as they get out of position, he goes to a shot.
Lewis's only loss this year was in the desert in Vegas to Mikey Labriola, lost in sudden victory. That's been the only blemish for Mackay this season.
One thing you see about Faison, he's staying in his stance. Even though he's getting pulled around and Mackay has very good lateral motion, Faison is staying in a good stance.
Yes, sir.
Faison is a local product, Whispering Pines, North Carolina. His 5th year competing for NC State. It's been a tough lineup to crack, but he finally has. Struggled at the start of the year to make weight, so he bumped from 165 to 174. Actually switched spots with Matty Singleton, the freshman, who we saw earlier today. Ever since that move to this new weight, Faison has just taken off.
Faison's done a good job of closing the gap by forcing an underhook. And you see Mackay's getting a little stutter step. He's getting a little fakes in there. Soon enough, he's going to fake and then create a shot. So you see once again how Faison is keeping a good stance. How do you get someone out of a good stance? You fake like that. You take a stutter step to get him to move. He's just timing it. These are called little data moves. Data. As he fakes, he's seeing how is Faison responding. He's done it for three times his first period.
He'll process that information, use it a little bit later on, deeper into the second and third periods. 40 seconds, period 1, no score.
Fingers, get out of them, stay out of them.
I love it. I love the fact just faking and pumping. You don't see much happening, but it's accumulating.
Improve it. Stop.
Stalemate. We go back to the feet. 13 seconds here in this first period. Mackay Lewis looking over at his corner.
For you new fans, stalemate means that there's no improvement between the two wrestles, so the referee stops it and says, let's start fresh.
There was so much buildup to today's ACC championship just because of the parity in the conference this year. 3 teams sharing the regular season dual title, and as a result, it's a new championship record crowd. 3,800 plus, 3,834 the official number. It's a sellout inside Reynolds. They always travel from Blacksburg, and they are hoping that they will win some ACC titles tonight in this hostile environment that still is a sea of red and white. Quick point, first one of the match, and it is 1-0 Mackay Lewis.
What I'd like to see is Mackay from his stutter step and his fakes actually commit. Fake and then commit to a shot. The longer that someone that's really not expected to win stays in a match, the confidence starts to build. That I'm in here with the returning national champion. Someone's going for their 3rd ACC championship. And what does Mackay have to do? He has to try his best to create more offense.
Center it.
Talked about Lewis looking for his 3rd ACC title. Faison in, but Lewis able to clear the leg.
And that's a confidence shot right there. A confidence shot, meaning that, hey, I got in on him. Okay, I'm feeling it. The fans are starting to get behind him. This is how confidence builds. Now, we all know that it's very difficult to finish on Mackay, but the fact that he got to his leg and he kind of lifted it a little bit has to show some type of belief that Faison can get in.
Work through that, work through it.
We can't overstate the importance of the home crowd. The home crowd influences the officials. I don't care what the officials say. I don't listen to the crowd. You absolutely do. And that may help to get a stall call, but also the adrenaline. When you need something to push a little more, the loudness of the crowd can help you get there. And it's only 1-0, and Faison was supposed to get blown out.
Stop, stalemate. Fingers, guys.
Well, the volume inside is certainly going to continue to increase if this tight battle continues, which it looks like it will into the 3rd period. Will be Faison's choice to start the third. The escape by Lewis has been it. A 1-0 lead for Mekhi Lewis, but here's the one shot that we saw Faison go to in the second.
He got in, and then he got to his feet and lifted the leg up in the air. That is something very difficult for people to do against Mekhi. Now, Mekhi got out of it, but the fact is, he was there.
Red, stay set. Top cover.
Now, Mekhi has made a real...
Go green. Go green.
Mekhi's done a real good job to get better at top, but Faison got out in a very short amount of time. It's 1-1, third period. Mekhi, national champion.
Get out of here.
Faison trying to make a name for himself.
Collar tie here by Faison. Both wrestlers forehead to forehead. They reposition in the center. Neither wrestler yet to get offense on the feet. Tied at 1. Faison trying to get to his left arm underhook. Mekhi Lewis clears it away.
Keep the hands clear.
A more pep in the step right now by Faison.
Yep. You're absolutely right. Starting to believe. And Mekhi wants to shut it down. I'm just not seeing Mekhi shoot. He's faking, he's moving. Want to see him get in on a shot. See? There it is. That's a fake shot. He's got to fake and actually shoot to get into the official's head. Just a fake's not going to get to the official's head. A fake and then a shot gets into the official's head to say, hey, ref, I'm doing the work here.
Mekhi Lewis always has such a great feel, and it's going to be interesting to see when does he feel the urgency to really take that one first true shot. 30 seconds to go here in this third period.
And Faison's done a good job of kind of holding center. He hasn't been on the outside. He's been able to circle where the ACC is on the mat, right where the white letters are. He's staying right in the middle, presenting himself. And he's shooting again, and that's the reshot. Confidence. He shot, and usually Mekhi is very good at the reshot, but Faison kicked out of it. Hey, we're going to overtime, why not?
Our first overtime here tonight. It is sudden victory if you're new to the sport. 2 minutes up on the clock. First one to score wins. If nothing is settled in these 2 minutes, we go to 2 30-second tiebreakers.
You're right, it's the first points. It doesn't matter how it comes. It could be a takedown, it could be an illegal hold. It could be unsportsmanlike conduct. It's just points. Faison is doing a good job of staying center. And once again, he's staying in a good stance.
Action in there.
Uh-oh. You can't overstate what's happening here. You sense that Faison is starting to expose himself a little more. He's starting to think that, hey, I might have a shot at winning this. I got controlled in the doom beat, but I think I have a shot here.
And conversely, the trap on the other side for that is with Mekhi Lewis, he might be going into his trap.
Right. And so Faison has got to be careful here because once again, we said it, that Mekhi Lewis is very good at re-attacks, re-shots, counter offense. But it seems like he's shut down a little bit. You see Faison still stalking him. You don't want to go to the tiebreakers. Faison is walking him down. Nothing yet. Faison needs to go back to the shot, but he's got to be careful. He has to be careful if he wants to shoot on Mekhi, because it doesn't take much for Mekhi because he's so lightning quick on his rear attacks with counter offense.
Work through it.
20 seconds to go in this sudden victory. There's a shot by Faison. Bottled up efficiently from Lewis. Lewis holding position. Both wrestlers taking a moment to look over at the clock. And we will go into 2 30-second tiebreakers. How about this?
Let's talk
174.
30-second tiebreakers. Both wrestlers get a chance to wrestle 30 seconds. You want to score and continue to wrestle, because after the first 30 seconds, the other wrestler gets choice of being top, bottom, or neutral.
Stay set, top cover.
stand up. Lewis, prompt mat return. Faison, Lewis springs right back up to his feet. Faison still with control, trips him right back down. And finally, Lewis is away. But it's 14 seconds of riding time for Faison. And out of bounds they go.
Now let's remember now, Mekhi Lewis has one stall call against him. Faison, we said this, Sean, the longer he stays in this match, the more confidence he's getting. So now, this is what has to happen. Faison has to get out. And if he gets out, he has to get out in less than 14 seconds to have the biggest upset in the ACC. And Reynolds is getting behind him. They got to fix the clock. The clock says 1 minute and 30 seconds. This is what happens when you give someone confidence, when they start believing, and when the crowd starts believing. They are believing that Alex Faison can really beat Mekhi. But Mekhi has made a point to get better on top, but Faison got out very quickly before.
All right, critical stretch right here. Stand up, Faison, Lewis trying to ride out here in this tiebreaker. Brings Faison back, hits a Granby near the edge. Lewis stays with him, and now a scramble ensues.
This is a national champion here. This is national championship type of, look at this guy. His name is Mekhi Lewis. He will not give this up. Making a statement, he will ride someone out to win in the tiebreakers. A little kick there, a little we don't like each other. Words, this is ACC. Oh, they don't like each other. They don't like each other. Mekhi Lewis told him you can't get out. They push each other. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Championship medal right here by the national champion. I love wrestling. I love wrestling. Mekhi Lewis, mental toughness. He could not get it out.
184 coming up next. Trent Hidley, he'll look for his third ACC title. Gavin Kane, fresh off an upset earlier today. Then at 97, the rematch. Bonacorsi, Trumbull. You don't want to put NC State and Virginia Tech in the same room. That's what happens typically, the great rivalry in the ACC.
A tight match, could have easily gone a different way, but Mekhi came out on top.
Speaking of coming out on top, Justin McCoy wins Virginia's first title at that weight since 2015. Nick Solter, the last Cavalier to get the job done, and now here in 2023, it is McCoy. 184. Trent Hidley, ranked number 3, the top seed, 19-1 this year for Hidley. The high flyer matched up against Gavin Kane after a sluggish start this year. Kane has really turned it on since we flipped the calendar. 21-5, he is ranked 12. These two did not meet in the final Friday night duel of the year. Kane has been banged up a little bit with a shoulder issue, but he is a full go tonight in his matchup with Hidley. And here comes Gavin Kane, the sophomore out of Milton, Georgia.
His opponent from NC State, a redshirt junior from Coliseum, Pennsylvania, Trent Hidley.
Always a crowd pleaser, Trent Hidley, the 3-time All-American. He was seeded 5th in 2020. The national runner-up 2 years ago. Last year, he took 5th in Detroit. The emotional firecracker and really the leader of this Wolfpack team, trying to bring it home in front of this packed house inside Reynolds, and we are underway. The final at 184.
Immediately, everyone knows that Trent Hidley is going to jam in the underhook. And so when we talked to Coach Coleman Scott, Olympian, bronze medalist, he said, the way you get out of an underhook is to not get in it. Keep the elbow to your chest so you don't give him the opportunity to get the underhook. And immediately you see Gavin Kane controlling the elbow of Trent Hidley and keeping his elbow to the chest.
Coming into today's action, a lot of people thought it might be another Hidley-Hunter Boland showdown for the ACC title, but Gavin Kane wrecked those plans. He was able to win 4-3 in the semifinals over Boland. Third match of the day for Kane, who entered as the 3 seed. He started with a major decision over Duke and picked up his 19th win of the year in thrilling fashion over Bowling.
And it was thrilling. So immediately, what you're noticing is that Gavin Kane is keeping the left elbow kind of close in, and he's trying to control the elbow of Trent Hiley. So Trent Hiley usually goes to the left side of his opponent's, his right. But let's see if he tried to do offense to the opposite side, his opponent's right leg.
Offense, wrestler, offense.
But at some point, Gavin Kane has to open up because Trent Hiley is going to keep moving forward.
Center.
He says when he wrestles opponents, he takes it personal.
Deep weight in the ACC with 5 NCAA automatic qualifiers coming out of the 6 schools. Hiley ranked 3rd. Bolin, who was knocked out by Kane earlier today. Neil Antrassian, and then Reese Heller, the transfer from Hofstra.
Fingers, get out of that, fingers.
Heller brothers arriving for Pitt and making an impact. So a loaded weight here in the ACC.
Little things that you're seeing with Gavin Kane. As soon as Trent Hiley goes in for the underhook, he's trying to control the elbow of Trent Hiley and bringing his elbow to the inside, which negates the underhook. However, what it does, if the official is watching, is what it said, look, you're not trying to be aggressive, you're defending. So now he got in. Now, this is where Trent Hiley wants to be.
See the strength from Hiley once he gets to his underhook and he gets the stall call. Pat Popolizio, 4 tournament, 4 dual meet championships, trying to win his 5th consecutive tournament title here tonight.
For 2 minutes and 40 seconds, Gavin Kane did a good job of not letting the underhook get in. But as you see, as soon as Trent Hiley got it in, even though he didn't score, he got a stall call.
Yes!
So at this point, Trent Hiley sees what's happening. So he's got to create offense to the opposite side of his natural underhook with his right arm.
Gonna go bottom. Okay, guys, on my whistle here. Get started. Green, you got to start.
Graduate program here at NC State. All of his classes online, so he can take care of his body a little bit better. And his tight relationship with his brother Hayden, a 5-time All-American. We talked with Trent a couple of days ago, and we asked him, what's the similarities, what's the biggest differences with you and your brother? And he just kind of chuckled. He said, I'm the flamboyant one of the two. Hayden more reserved, very calculated, great communicator. Trent said, I just let her fly. And he's letting it fly now to the tune of the 2nd stall call on King.
And Coach Reynolds is doing a good job. He said, let's talk this over. Let me explain to you. He's probably saying, look, he's just driving him out. Is that really stalling? He can't go anywhere. But the thing is Kane has got to continue to not let the underhook get in, because you see, once the underhook is in, Trent Hiley's a bull. Oh, look, he went to the other side. You see that? The whole time, he was going to the right side, but he took a shot to the left side of the body.
Nothing here to show.
Gavin Kane is very good here on defense. We saw it the whole time. We saw that Trent Hiley wanted to underhook with his right arm, but then he shot to the right leg of his opponent, which is the opposite side of the underhook. Trying to diversify, trying to open him up. Hey, this one underhook isn't really working like I wanted to, so let me go to a different shot. So let's take a look. So he usually goes right side, but he went opposite side, low single, and got to his best scoring opportunity. These are called in-match adjustments.
One thing about Kane, and we've talked a little bit about it, he is tough to score on. Defense is his strength. In fact, he's tried to really kickstart his offense a little bit more to catch up with his defense, because he is tough to score on. Always has had good hits. His coaches have been up front with him this year. You can't rely on your defense so much. You have to open it up offensively, and that's what he's done really since we flipped the calendar to 23. And another stall call against Kane. Hiley just bulldozing his way, taking mat control, and as a result, a couple of stall points in this period.
Hey, I mean, at some point, it gets tiresome to try and fight this underhook. And so what has happened is Kane has clamped down with the left side of his body and put that left knee down to stop the bulldozing of Trent Hidley. And some people may argue and say, look, this is just a bullying match. He's just pushing and prodding, but he's trying to create offense, and Kane has good defense.
Time.
This is what happens when you wrestle someone over and over again. It gets tighter and tighter. When you see more and more tape, you get the feel. The first time you wrestle Trent Hidley, you don't understand what that underhook feels like. But Gavin Kane has wrestled him several times and understands what he has to do.
A couple of coaches in the opposite corners who wrestled for John Smith back in their days at Oklahoma State. Coleman Scott, Pat Papalizio.
Still green.
Hidley trying to get out from underneath, and he is away. So Hidley ups the ante, goes right back into his right arm underhook.
And at this point, you get tired. So Kane has to continue to clamp down, control the elbow, and bring his left elbow in. Because when someone gets an underhook, they want to jack you up. They want to jack up that shoulder. But what Kane has to do is to bring that elbow down and bring his elbow to his chest. So at this point, Kane at some point, he's doing a good job of defending the underhook, but as for offense, I haven't seen it. Oh, good run through. But look at this defense by, good job by Kane, but better offense by Trent Hidley.
And now it becomes a little bit of a steeper climb for Kane. He is able to get the quick escape. Down 5-2 near the edge and out of bounds back into the center. And Pat Papalizio wants a quick word, then he thought different of it and goes back into his corner.
He didn't just think differently of it. Trent Hidley said, sit down, coach, this is okay, I got this.
Meanwhile, the stoic Hayden Hidley just watches from afar in the corner, watching his brother do his thing.
See, both coaches are upset. They're saying, look, my guy is pushing and pushing and trying to score. And that's what NC State's saying. And on the other side, we look at NC State. I mean, UNC is saying, look, he's not doing anything. We're trying to circle. He's just pushing it out. Very tough.
30. Center.
Less than 30.
Action center.
One of the few times where it's Hidley's heels near the boundary, but he quickly reverses that.
Off action.
With 18 seconds, Hidley in control, up 5-2, and it's go time for Kane. You can't be picky or choosy. You got to go.
I mean, losing 5-2, what's the difference losing 7-2? Just try something. He ran right through it.
Ran right through it, and Trent Hidley is going to be a three-time ACC champion as he's able to get the job done here in his home venue with 1 second to go. Coming out of Pennsylvania, Trent had a lot of different options. He told us he had narrowed it down. NC State, Iowa, Lehigh, and Purdue were his final four, but in the end, he did not rush the process. He liked all four of the schools, but the biggest thing was the mentality of the underdog program that Papalizio was in the middle of building a resurgence here in Raleigh with. And Trent Hidley has delivered again. A three-time ACC champion, 7-2, as this crowd comes to their feet.
In-match adjustments by Trent Hidley. The underhook really wasn't working. He had to diversify, go to something else, and then he just wore down Kane. There's the money shot. He's money in the ACC. Third title.
197 is our next stop. Nino Bonacorsi and Isaac Trumbull. It was one of the more entertaining matches in Friday Night Duels earlier this year, and here we go, the rematch. Bonacorsi perfect. He's 15-0, ranked number 1. Isaac Trumbull in at number 8 this postseason, 19-3. And of course, one of those blemishes to Bonacorsi.
That was an entertaining match.
Isaac Trumbull, the sophomore from Springfield, Nebraska, made it all the way from the Midwest to Raleigh. The two-time defending champion is Nino Bonacorsi. He won the ACC title last year over Trumbull 5-2 after Trumbull had beat him twice in the previous two meetings. These two very familiar with one another, so let's go deep inside each corner, starting with Bonacorsi and Pitt.
Bonacorsi has to create angles. He can't shoot straight on Isaac Trumbull. Isaac Trumbull has very heavy hips. When someone shoots in, he wants to square up and get heavy hips. What Nino Bonacorsi has to do is create angles. The lateral motion of Isaac Trumbull isn't his strong suit. So therefore, Nino Bonacorsi has to try to create angles as opposed to shooting straight on.
Bonacorsi, the four-time NCAA qualifier. He was a national runner-up a couple of years ago. Made the All-American run as the number 6 seed.
Clean hands up.
The other two times he's come up just one win shy of All-American status. Lost last year in the round of 12 to Missouri's Rocky Elam. His third year at 197 after starting his career at 84.
Of course, there's the nerves in being in the finals of any tournament, certainly with a conference tournament. But you wonder, in Nino's mind, he says, look, I win. I'm the number 1 seed for them. Good shot there. Good shot. And what has to happen? Nino is putting weight on the shoulder of Trumbull. Trumbull's going to try and stand up with it. But Nino's doing a good job of doing what's called a shin whistle. He's grabbing his own shin and putting pressure on the shoulder of Trumbull. Little things are going on, little adjustments that are happening. They see the referee going to call stalemate because nothing can be improved upon.
Pitt entered today with an ACC high, 4 number 1 seeds. One of them, obviously, Bonacorsi. We'll see Matthews a little bit later, along with Philippi. Holden Heller was their other 1 seed. Very dangerous tournament team with the firepower they have, in particular in those 4 weights. Let's not forget they redshirted one of the top heavyweights in the country as well, and Dayton Pitzer just a couple of weeks ago. Keith Gavin has something cooking pretty special at Pitt. A couple of strong recruiting classes. And to factor in these veterans with guys like Bonacorsi and Philippi and Matthews, they have laid the foundation, and now the recruiting doors are starting to open up a little bit wider for the Panthers.
That's what happens when you have success. What I'm seeing with Nino Bonacorsi, he's coming over the top of the head with his right hand and dropping down to a shot on the left leg of Isaac Trumbull. So he has an overhand, and he shifted just a little bit to get to the shot on the left leg of Isaac Trumbull. Overhand, and let's see if he just moves it. There it is. You see, he's just moving it just a little bit to the side.
2-on-1 here late by Trumbull. Not elect to go anywhere with it. Short time, 7 seconds, scoreless first period for the title at 197.
Time.
Keith Gavin, year number 6, the 2008 Pitt graduate. He won a national title while wrestling for the Panthers at 174. 2-time All-American, and recently he too given an extension for the job that he has done that will keep him in Pitt
cover legally and hold
for the 2027 season. Is there a more calm coach in all of college wrestling than Keith Gavin?
Certainly not in the ACC.
Just even keel, doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. And every Pitt wrestler we talked to this year talked about how they appreciated that.
So little things that are happening, little chess matches, what you're seeing at home, saying that nothing's really happening. But what Nino was trying to do is create space. And you see immediately, this is almost deja vu. from their first match. Locking hands, technical violation.
Stop. We've got technical violation.
Locking hands, technical violation. The reason why is because even though you would say they won their feet, no, the referee did not award a loss of control. So because Isaac Trumbull locked around the body and they were still on the mat, that was a lock in hands. And you can see there's not a peep coming out of NC State. Good job by the second official to let it know, and good job by the head official to trust the judgment of the second official, working as a team. Big difference now, it's 2.
That could loom large in a match that we thought would be 1 or 2 points separating these two elite wrestlers. Bonacorsi up 2-0, halfway through period 2, hitting the halfway point.
So now we know that Isaac Trumbull has to attack a little more, because even if there's nothing that happens in the second period, more than likely Isaac Trumbull is going to go bottom and try to get an escape. But at some point, Isaac Trumbull is going to have to expose himself, meaning create some type of offense.
Is that the next step for Trumbull? He's still very young, a sophomore. We know the MO on him, tough to score, great hips. Is the offense the next step for him to really take it to the next level?
Of course. But the great thing about wrestling is that you can create your own style. You don't have to do it like someone else did it. You can say, based upon my skill set, based upon my build, I can create this type of offense. And that's something that you work on with your team, work on with your coaches, and work on as yourself.
And what Trumbull's done a really good job of, he's one of the team leaders in bonus point victories. So his style is still scoring points. 2-0 Bonacorsi, into the third we go. Trumbull looks over at the corner without hesitation. He will go underneath. Good look at Nino Bonacorsi. Grew up in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Heralded recruit, just 12 miles south of the Pitt campus. Finished high school with 147 wins. There was never a doubt where he was going to wrestle collegiately, and that was at Pitt. Trumbull was away, and it's 2-1. Riding time, not a factor.
And where does Trumbull have to score? He has to score from some type of, kind of like an excursion. Something has to happen for him to grab and get his hips squared up on top of Bonacorsi. Because shooting from a distance is not the strength of Isaac Trumbull. However, Nino Bonacorsi has to continue to circle. His back is towards the outside. And with someone like Trumbull, who's going to just stay and push, it's not going to look good to the officials.
Out of the fingers.
See, Bonacorsi staying on the outside. He's got to try to circle towards where the ACC is, the white part of the mat, and stay there. You don't want to play the edge. When you play the edge, you're already saying that, hey, I'm not just going to defend, but I have the out of bounds to help me as well.
This is a perfect example of where we've seen Bonacorsi adapt as a wrestler, even though he's had all the success as you see him try to spin his way around. In the past, he was just shot after shot. Not the case as he gets older, more calculated with his shots compared to the first couple of years, and way more efficient. Knowing his opponent, this is a guy you don't want to take a high shot volume on with Trumbull. And so far, Bonacorsi holding serve. Short time to go, 10 seconds. Does Trumbull have some late magic? Bonacorsi staying in a pretty safe position near the edge. And for Nino Bonacorsi, he has won an ACC title, his third consecutive championship.
You may not like it, but you win tight matches. You win tight matches with stingy defense. Good job by Nino Bonacorsi. I haven't talked to any ACC coach that isn't a fan of Nino Bonacorsi. They love the way he wrestles and love the fact that he's a third straight champ.
3 consecutive crowns for Bonacorsi. He's won all 3 in a little bit of a different style. Tonight it was about his defense, and Pitt crowns their first champion. Heavyweight coming up next. Jonah Niesenbaum representing Duke, Treppin for NC State. The month of March is a special one for college wrestling. Join us from Tulsa this year for the NCAA Wrestling Championships. Coverage begins March 16th at 12 noon on ESPNU, and then the championship finals on March 18th, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN, streaming on the ESPN app. And a couple of wrestlers that we will be watching in Tulsa. Mekhi Lewis becomes the seventh Hokie to win 3 ACC titles, and then another 3-time ACC champ, 3 straight for Trent Hidley at 184 pounds, his win over Gavin Kane of UNC. And that leads us into our next matchup tonight. It's at heavyweight. It's been a tough year for Duke. No ifs, ands, or buts about it because of injuries and youth, but their bright spot has been Jonah Niesenbaum. Consistent all year, the top seed, ranked 17th. He gets ready to take on Owen Trephan. Trephan, 11th in the country, 18-3, and he won a battle earlier in the overtime. Tiebreaker criteria came down to 1 second over Hunter Katka.
His opponent from Duke University, a senior from Pennsylvania,
Been quite a year for Niesenbaum, who's still relatively new to the sport. He was predominantly a hockey player growing up in Allentown, Pennsylvania, fully committed to wrestling between his sophomore and junior years. He has been a quick learner, and Glenn Lanham and his staff has done a terrific job of catching him up to speed, if you will. What a year for Niesenbaum and Duke.
And Niesenbaum usually fires out early. He goes to a double, and if he can't get a double, he easily goes to the single to his opponent's right leg. Trephan on the other side is more of an athletic heavyweight. He moves his feet very well and then reattacks.
Speaking of reattack, there it is, with that leg fully up in the air. We'll start to see some of the balance from Niesenbaum.
Niesenbaum's trying to get an underhook to put his foot down. No takedown yet. There's the takedown. Watch the chin back. Watch the chin back. Watch the chin back. That's exactly what he does. He lifts and goes to a chin back.
He put the big body from Duke right on his back for 4 more. Just shot out of a cannon, getting this crowd electrified. The heavyweight for NC State. Here's a little offense. Up 6-0.
Keep that safe. Keep it on the back.
6-0. And if you watch film on Owen Trephan, he does that. He gets behind and does a chin back and gets out of the way. If you don't know that, you might get to a point where an official might say that's illegal for letting somebody not be able to defend themselves. But until then, Owen Trephan, keep doing it.
One green.
Pat Papalizio told us earlier this year in New Orleans after the Journeyman Collegiate Duels, Trephan won a really entertaining match, probably his best win of the year against UNI's Tyrell Gordon in sudden victory. And Papalizio said Trephan's conditioning probably has been the area that he has improved the most from last year, and it's not so much what they've changed as far as a practice routine with running and physical conditioning exercises, more of the experience and the confidence.
Center here, guys, center.
Where he can manage his energy load, and he just gets stronger the deeper it goes. And in this case, he's just come out on fire with the 6, stunning the top seed Niesenbaum right now.
And we're about to see Niesenbaum, who's usually more of a controlled, patient heavyweight, shoots straight on, but now he's behind. We're going to see what happens here, because if he takes bad shots, Owen Trephan, just like he did in the first period, will have a nice reattack.
Trephan split time last year with Tyree Houghton. He went 17-5, 2-2 in duels, coming off a redshirt year in 2021. He came in a little undersized at heavyweight, so he used his redshirt year to bulk up. 2-time national prep champ. He was a South Carolina State champion. Excellent football player as well in high school. Had a number of football offers, but chose wrestling. And the earth shook here in Raleigh on a Sunday night a few moments ago.
Lifts up and he gets out of the way. Watch him move out the way and lands right down on his back. And right there, that's when he gets his back points.
Red to first.
He gets in,
Green.
lifts up, and just scoots out of the way.
Green chooses
All you
bottom.
heavyweights watching this is what Owen Treffin does on top.
Okay, guys. Hey, good setup, good start, guys. Second period.
This
Green
season,
set.
Treffin
Red
lost
cover.
a couple of matches at the Keene Invitational, losing to second-ranked Mason Paris, and then the Harvard heavyweight has knocked him out twice this year.
Green set.
Looks like
Go ahead, cover red.
Looks like Niesman's looking for a switch and cross his hands.
Thigh pry attempt. We've seen NC State go with that thigh pry quite frequently today. He'll turn and face. Niesenbaum in a good position to get the point, and he does.
Neutral.
All right, time now for Jonah Niesenbaum to try to get to his offense down 4.
And how does he get to his offense? Just like he did for this whole season. Doing what he's done before. A lot of times when people think they're down, they have to rush. Don't rush. Go to what you do well.
Heavyweight is a weight that Duke takes a lot of pride in. Jacob Casper had success. Glenn Lanham still calls Casper one of the greatest leaders he's ever coached. And Casper still very tight with this Duke wrestling program. Follows the Blue Devils,
Fingers,
in particular
fingers.
Jonah Niesenbaum, but even the great Casper a little concerned right now, watching his guy trail by 4 in a tough environment like Reynolds tonight.
And since that first attempt at a double in the first period, Niesenbaum really hasn't shown much offense. And it could be because when he had his best shot, it was defended nicely by Treffin, and Treffin went to his rear attack and got the takedown. But Niesenbaum needs to go back to what he did. And Treffin, he's just going to keep moving and circling, pump in and out.
Get all those fingers. Release that.
Yep. Treffin is just, you know, doing a little bit. He's up. He
15,
sees
15.
that once again, Niesenbaum isn't really creating any offense, so therefore he's not going to do anything extraordinary. Short time to end the second period, 6-2. Owen Treffin.
Red, your choice.
Glenn Lanham, year number 10.
Red chooses bottom.
High on Niesenbaum coming into today.
Okay, guys, third
Every
period
year he
Green,
just
you got a caution, okay?
is
Red
able
is
to
set.
get more and more out of his
Right,
athletes.
Green.
This year was a tough season. They were hit by injuries early. They will look to regroup next year, but it certainly eases some of the toughness of the
Neutral.
season if you can get an NCAA qualifier, and tonight an ACC champion with Niesenbaum.
You just want to get to the big dance. You don't know what may happen. You might have the tournament of your life. Someone may get injured and gives you a better matchup than before. You just
Guys,
don't
out
know.
of the grip,
You just
out of
want to
the grip.
get there. Good snatch.
A good snatch there by Treffin.
I like his footwork, Treffin, that is. He's getting in and out and moving his feet.
Yeah, he has brought the fight to Niesenbaum tonight.
And Niesenbaum at some point has to create some offense.
Fingers, guys.
He's not doing too much of anything. There's a shot.
That is
Got a
a
minute.
lot of weight
1
coming
minute.
at you. Impressive showing thus far. Can Owen Treffin bring it home now? 50 seconds to go.
So at this point, it's not going to be takedowns. It's getting now. Niesenbaum has to think of big moves. Big moves here because takedowns is not going to get it done. He's got to go feet, back, and something big. But we're getting close to 20 seconds left in this third period.
Owen Treffin spent the entire offseason working on freestyle as a way to try to improve his offense on his feet. Treffin used last year as a motivational tool, not the everyday starter. The work in the offseason, the motivation behind it, all comes to a culmination here tonight. He's your ACC champ. The Wolfpack win another.
Win another one
Congrats,
off of a
gentlemen.
takedown, near falling And the Wolfpack have another ACC champ.
For the first time in his career, Owen Treppan, the sophomore from Summerville, South Carolina, set the tone early with this chin back. Caught Nisamam off guard. Treppan celebrates the win. 125, couple of wrestlers looking for their first ACC title. While at 133, Mickey Philippi, his final go-around. He'll try to wrap it with an ACC title. For the third time in his career, Nino Bonacorsi has won an ACC championship, one of the more popular wrestlers in the conference. Bonacorsi, a familiar sight atop the podium at 197. 125 coming up next. Couple of wrestlers who have excelled this year. Jared Trombley bumping down a weight. He dropped from 33 to 25 with the injury to Jacob Camacho. He has stepped in 12-6. Strong year for Trombley. While Eddie Ventresca off to a slow start in the ACC, but boy, they have found rhythm with Ventresca of late. He powers his way into the finals for the first time. A young talent, part of the youth movement for Virginia Tech. Eddie Ventresca, the redshirt freshman out of Moxbury, New Jersey.
His opponent from NC State, a redshirt junior from Coliseum, Virginia,
And here comes the crowd favorite, Jared Trombley. NC State wasn't sure what was going to happen, how it was all going to unfold when Camacho injured his knee in the spring. They were trying to get him back throughout the course of the year, just never worked out. And the big reason they weren't in a hurry to rush him back was Jared Trombley was wrestling very well.
NC State wants to have two guys at every weight class, and Trombley comes in with a hard underhook, and he's going to try and throw that underhook over. He feels he's stronger at 125 than he was at 133. And he feels that he can muscle some of the 25-pounders that he's wrestling.
Trombley with NCAA championship experience.
Nice club.
Quick warning.
That's a hello club. I'm here.
I agree.
Good job by the official to nip that in the bud real quick. We're not going to have this.
Trombley, a two-time NCAA qualifier. Keep in mind, both those times it was at 133. 2020, the COVID year, and then in 2021, won a couple of matches at Nationals in 21, so he has NCAA experience. Different story when you look at the body of work for Eddie Ventresca, redshirt freshman. Coming off a redshirt season last year, wrestled in 4 tournaments. He was a New Jersey state champion at 120 pounds, 17-6 this year.
Wrestle through this. Wrestle through this.
We're going to see an interesting contrast because Trombley likes to come in with that underhook to his opponent's right side, but Eddie Ventresca has a good shot to his opponent's left leg. So who's going to beat it first? Is Trombley going to get that underhook, or is Ventresca going to get to that shot to that left leg, just like he was trying there?
Minute 30.
When they wrestled in Dormy, there was a 1-1 match before it went to overtime, and Trombley got a neutral danger takedown to win 3-1.
Go wrestle through here, guys. Wrestle
What a
through
difference, and this is the thing about the wrestling season.
116.
It is a marathon. It is a long haul, but it wasn't that long ago. Tony Roby was not happy with his 125-pounders.
Oh my goodness. It was a battle just to see who was going to be starting from week to week.
One minute.
Ventresca's doing a good job of keeping his position. And Trombley is going to try and pull down with that right arm and force that underhook.
45.
It's always typical, I'm not going to say always, but oftentimes in finals, there's a little more cautiousness. Wrestlers don't open up as much. They don't want to lose, but we want to see some action in 25-pounders.
A little bit of youth in Blacksburg this year, up and down the Virginia lineup as Ventresca submarines his way low.
We're neutral here.
That is his strength side. We talked about that
We're
earlier.
short.
He likes to shoot to his opponent's left leg. Now he's bringing it out. He's got to be careful not to bring it out against the natural movement of the knee.
Easy, guys. Easy.
We were talking about who's going to beat. Who's going to beat? Is it going to be the underhook of Trumley, or just look at this low shot right to the left leg? That's his best shot, and he did a good job of cutting the corner, getting behind. Just not enough time.
I'll call you on. Wait for me. Wait for me. I'll call you on.
Ventresca, freshman for Coach Roby. We will see Henson, a true freshman, a little bit later on, wrestling for an ACC title.
Okay, cover legal.
Tom Crook, a freshman, future bright in Blacksburg. Stand up by Ventresca. Trombley trying to use his strength to muscle him back down, but that does not sway Ventresca, who is away. 12 seconds into this period. Ventresca fires the opening salvo on a 1-0 lead.
1-0 lead, and let's see if Ventresca goes back to that shot to his opponent's left leg. Trombley has that left leg back, and he banged with the right side. He's going to try and get to that underhook. He doesn't really shoot too much just in space. He likes to close the gap. He wants to touch and then shoot. Hands, there it is. That's where Trombley wants to be, right here. But good job by Ventresca with the head position. He wants to put his head on the side where that underhook is.
Good action. Here we go, guys. Keep working here.
Back to the feet we go. A minute 11.
Here we go.
Low scoring title bout at 125.
1 minute. Fingers.
Trombley
Let it go, guys.
gets to his collar tie. Trombley likes to work from his knees once he gets that initial tie-up. Ventresca steers it away.
A little misdirection may be helpful for Ventresca here. Just getting the feel. This was typical of their first match. 1-1. Now, Ventresca is very good on top. Pretty decisive. Now, motion is not a way to create a stall. You have to shoot. So even though you may say, what's going on? He's not doing anything. Well, you have to commit to a shot. Short time, and we're going to the third period. 1-0 Ventresca.
With the 2 ACC titles already secured tonight for NC State, Pat Papalizio has guided the Wolfpack to their 5th straight tournament championship. Congratulations to NC State, a year that saw 3 teams go into the postseason with a 4-1 mark through the ACC dual portion of the schedule, Pitt and Virginia Tech, the other 2 schools, but today NC State has already clinched it. Trombley gets the point, and we go back to square one, tied at 1.
Tied at 1. Ventresca's had the only real committed offensive dangerous shot, and he's doing a good job of negating the underhook of Trombley. Trombley is pretty quick, so if there is a scramble situation, oftentimes he turns out on top. He's trying to just create something.
Nothing to be found for Ventresca on the brief exchange.
Ventresca's doing a good job of stalking. And we'll see if Ventresca has learned. There's many of the matches that he's had this season, he's lost late. But at this point, he's probably learned from mistakes and knows how to close a match. He's 45. So at this point, this is when the fan base needs to start getting behind Trombley. They need to start making some noise. This guy's stalking.
30.
30 seconds left. Are they going to wait for overtime? They're going to try and score here.
Get out of it. Let it go. Let those fingers go.
I feel like it's going to be one explosive possession.
15. Out.
The natural flow of the match was an action call. No one was stalling there. It's just a natural flow of the match. 13 seconds. I don't see anyone put themselves in a bad position the last 13 seconds, but I hope I'm wrong.
Still in control.
Short.
Certainly smelling like we're heading to sudden victory. Final few moments, third period, and we will go into a 2-minute sudden victory to decide the ACC championship at 1:25. Eddie Ventresca dipping his toe into the championship waters for the first time. The same story can be said for Trombley. Both coaches looking on from their distant corner, and we go back to action.
Trombley's doing a good job of trying to get to his underhook, but Ventresca's defending him very well by putting his head on the side of the underhook. Ventresca's stalking. I want to see him go back to that shot to the left leg.
Started to reach for it.
And they're opening up now.
Countered by Trombley.
Work center.
Ventresca will let Trombley get back in near the center.
You can hear hokies and chant going on. Seems like everybody's nervous. This is a good position. Good position for Johnny. Look at squirrely. He's going to look out. He's trying to get out of bounds. He's got to get them. He's going to bring him back in. Oh! Stall call. Absolutely stall call. No question there. But hey, that was the right decision. That was the right decision by Trombley. Trombley had to get out of bounds because if he tried to fight that, it might have been a tough situation. I don't mind that. Smart wrestler, take the stall call there. So Ventresca started to feel good about himself and said, look, I can get there. But that stall call makes a difference. Obviously,
45.
It was good to not
He
get
had
the
to do it
takedown.
to save the match.
Yeah, and long ago, good shot. My goodness, nothing there. Nothing there. Because that's reaction time. Reaction time is based upon the judgment of the official. He was on his behind, but it was just good reaction time. You can see Ventresca's getting confident. He's getting confident right here. Short time here. Ventresca's feeling good about himself.
Trombley on the ropes a little bit. Does Ventresca have time for one more? No, but Trombley does, and he sends his crowd into a frenzy. Oh my! Out of nowhere, Trombley fires and secures the win.
I didn't see it coming. I did not see it coming. We said that before. Did Ventresca learn how to close a match? He lost it tight again. He was so close to getting that takedown at the end. And here it is, a lightning shot by Jared Trombley. He just got lower, got it, and he is pumped. Sucking down from 133 to 125 for the team and wins an ACC championship.
133, Mickey Philippi, the top seed, ranked 10th, 13-2 this year for Philippi, taking on Kyle Reaney, who has looked marvelous today, ranked 14th, 14-5. Reaney with a little bit of a different feel, different look about him this afternoon in his matches to qualify for tonight's finals.
He is, and I tell you what, he beat Slamatona, who beat him earlier, and he beat Mickey Philippi earlier. So Kyle Reaney, coming off the win of 125, he might have some extra motivation.
Reaney, the NCAA qualifier last year, seeded 15th. A fixture in the pit lineup Mickey Philippi, four-time NCAA qualifier. He was a Coach's All-American in 2020. A four-time ACC finalist trying to get back on top. Won his first two ACC titles early in his career, 2019, again in 2020, but a couple of runner-ups since, losing twice to Corbin Myers in close matches. No Myers tonight. It's Orini of NC State. And here we go, Pitt looking for their second ACC title. NC State looking for number 4. And Philippi able to get into that leg. But Orini passes the first test.
Odd, because usually Mickey wants to grab for the hands and bring it to a hand fight battle. But he lowered his level because Orini did not respect the length, or rather didn't respect the fact that Mickey went to his legs. He shot down for that low single.
Almost looked like it was in slow motion. Orini was startled that Philippi went down there, and I think Philippi was even shocked he got through.
Now this is what we normally see from Mickey Philippi. 2-on-1, couple things he'll do here. One, he'll try and lead that hand to the mat. Number 2, he'll try and slip the leg in and go to what's called a mocha position or side headlock with the leg in.
Mickey Philippi is such an engaging student athlete to talk to, and you know, you look at his career, 7 seasons of college wrestling, 2 schools, 4 NCAAs, a couple of degrees, 3 blood round losses, and then he was married recently as well, so he has been busy. He's busy now trying to keep Orini off the scoreboard.
Hey, look at this. Orini has got to take his time. He's got 1 minute and 40 seconds to work something out. The referee's not going to call a stalemate here as long as they're working here. And Mickey Philippi is just doing a good job of hopping.
Keep it legal.
So at this point, as long as NC State continues to move and adjust, the referee's going to let this go. And Mickey Philippi is going to continue to hop. He feels very comfortable here. We remember that wonderful takedown or that defense they had against San Antonio in their dual meet. Mickey Philippi is all right here.
It seems like the longest scramble situations I've watched over the past few years have one common denominator, Mickey Philippi.
Correct there. He caught the leg. Look at this neutral danger.
Danger one.
Neutral danger. So Mickey Philippi is going to try and work to a point where he tries to pass it. Looks like we're going to get to a stalemate position where no one can improve.
Stop. Stalemate. We're neutral.
I tell you what, just getting in on, well, not just Mickey Philippi, on college wrestlers, that's just part of the battle.
Philippi grew up in Derry, Pennsylvania. He wrestled high school at 138, and he talked about the toll of maintaining 133 for 7 years has taken, but he feels fresh in this go-around. He has changed his routine as far as how he handles practice each and every day. All for moments like this where you are at your best in the month of March.
Improve your position.
Maintaining your weight for 7 years is impressive. I can't maintain my weight for a day.
Not with our late night diets that we've had this year. That's for sure. First period in the books. Scoreless, Orini and Philippi, the flip of the disc, and it will take its
got a green. Green to first.
timely manner and rolling to green. Choice to
Red
Philippi.
bottom. Second period. Once you're set, stay set, hands on the way in front of the line.
Orini gets the first crack at going down underneath.
Once you're set, stay set.
And Mickey Philippi feels that he is the best mat wrestler in the country at 133.
Sit out by Orini, up onto his feet.
Green, you're in control.
Philippi will try to thrust him up, cracks him down hard. Looked like the head and the shoulder absorbed a lot of that mat return. Constant activity underneath from the NC State redshirt sophomore.
Green, you're in control.
Trying to rip away at the grip. Again, Philippi one more time trying to get hit back down. And now he has the leg in. So now he can go to work, Rock.
This is where he's tough. But good job by Orini. Continue to circle and try to create space.
Still you, Green.
He's going to try and put that foot down. He went the opposite way. He should have gone the other way. Here's where Mickey is really good, and he's getting in a riding time. They say out of bounds. It's the cylinder. It's the cylinder. So even though his head was outside and not on the mat, it's the cylinder. That white circle goes from here past heaven. It just goes up and up. So if any part of the body is in the cylinder, even if it's not on the mat, they are still in. Good job to keep the wrestling going. It's the cylinder not being on the mat.
Cover legal. Set.
Philippi with over a minute of riding here in this second period.
In control.
And Arini squeaks his way through the backside for the point.
Neutral.
Minute 10 of riding time. Keep that in mind as we go into the third period for Philippi.
So I mean, we still have a period to go, 30 seconds left. I wonder, would it make sense for Mickey Philippi to stay neutral? Because Kai Arini is pretty good on top.
No throat.
When you're holding someone down from over 10 seconds, I'm not going to say it's not difficult, but with the ability of Kai Arini, it's certainly a possibility. So does he go neutral.
And keep in mind, Philippi did not get out from underneath Arini in their last meeting. It was Arini who rode him out to force the overtime. And went eventually to the two tiebreakers where Arini got the initial rite out. And keep in mind, the rule states if you write somebody out, you have the option of choosing neutral, and that's what he did.
And interestingly, there was not a hesitation with Coach Gavin. He said, go down. He didn't say, think about it. He said, go down immediately. He's trying to get out quickly. Short time, short time, short time. He's still holding short time, short time. He's getting a hold. He's getting a hold.
Are you red? Red one.
Nothing yet. Good job by Arini to stay on top. So now he got the rider time down. 1-1.
So already different from the first time these two met. Philippi gets out in the third period. Good decision by the pit corner, and we're tied at 1.
Both guys have gotten in off of single legs. Clearly, Arini had a better shot with the leg being higher when he was in on Mickey Philippi in the first period, but Mickey Philippi off the jump got in on the lower leg of Kai Arini in the first period. So 1-1 as a score, 1-on-1 with shots.
Yep. This is the 4th year in Raleigh for Arini. 2nd year in the lineup after redshirting in 2020. Wrestling just 7 matches in 2021.
Keep the fingers clean.
Straight on shot there. Now Arini jumps into the front headlock position.
Kind of like a football grip, you want to say now. He's going underhook.
Position.
And Mickey's doing a good job of taking the hand off the chin. Once you take the hand off the chin, you really immobilize that position. A lot of times guys just want to clamp down on the elbow. You want to take that hand off the chin.
Short time before possibly sudden victory. Does not look like either wrestler wants to take one more shot. Have we been down this road before with these two? Deja Vu and Reynolds.
Let's go, Red. Let's go. Come on, Red.
Just like the match we had at 125.
Go, guys. Go get it.
1-1. Sudden victory. First points to score. Good reshot. Good reshot. Good defense there. So a little circle action by Mickey Philippi. Arini has a sneaky good double leg takedown. Both shot at the same time.
It cracked forehead to forehead. Arini stays on the hunt. Now both wrestlers will take a brief moment. I think they both kind of got stunned on that exchange. Philippi checking for blood. He's good, and the two re-engage back in the center. 1:18 here in this sudden victory.
Arini needs to shoot and finish cleanly. Because you see, when you wrestle Mickey Philippi, he's very good at defending, but you got to finish on him quick.
Use it or lose it.
Now watch the slide.
Use it or lose it.
Or the spin.
Not a very committed shot there. Nope. Maybe just a half shot. Back in again. Mickey Philippi is tough here. Mickey Philippi is tough here. He went to the waist. And this is where Mickey Philippi is going to be stronger, giving the wizard to the hip. He's got to continue to circle. Take it off the chin.
Those wrestlers
Clearly,
improve.
Kairini. Oh! Hello! He stuck him! He stuck him! He stuck him! Cement mixer! Kairini stuck Mickey Philippi! What a run! What a run! Kairini, he hit a cement mixer from someone from PA in overtime. Sticks the two-time defending ACC champion and sets Reynolds on fire.
141 coming up next. Cole Matthews will try to get Pitt back on track. It's Ryan Jack, NC State. And then we move to 49. Couple of true freshmen for ACC supremacy. Who has the best reacts? Is it the Pop reacts? Option 1. How about the Kai reacts? Push option B. Or Rock in his reacts. My vote's always with you, buddy. How's the front row behind you? Good?
I apologize.
Did you meet some new
already.
friends?
I apologize to him already.
141, Cole Matthews, the top seed, 18-1 this year, ranked third. Ryan Jack. It's been a completely different version of Jack this year compared to last season. Solid season, 20-2. He comes in ranked number 5. The title at 41. Jack this year, 4-1 in the ACC. His only loss was to Cole Matthews, 4-2.
His opponent from Pitt, a redshirt senior from Greenville, Pennsylvania, Cole Matthews.
Greenville, PA, Cole Matthews. Perfect this year against his ACC opponents. 3-time NCAA qualifier. A returning All-American, 5th last year in Detroit. How will Matthews react? He just watched his friend, his longtime teammate, get stuck in OT. The focus of Matthews. Ryan Jack, one of the team captains for NC State. This should be good. The battle at 141.
Cole Matthews, really good
Center.
at being creative when it comes to counterattacks. Ryan Jack likes to shoot an awful lot. However, he has to be very careful and pick his shots very wisely against someone like Cole Matthews, who has very good counterattacks.
Fingers, stay out of it, stay out of it.
But Ryan Jack is going to shoot. He's not afraid.
Busy year for Matthews. He wrestled in the All-Star Classic, traveled to Spain. So initially his plan was not to wrestle early in the year at the Midlands. However, he missed weight by 1/10 of a pound. So Gavin sent him to the Midlands, where he ended up winning the tournament. Gavin said, "You're not getting a break after all," after the missed weigh-in. Cole was fine with that, took care of business. 3-time NCAA qualifier, had that really solid run last year in Detroit. Made it all the way to the semifinals before losing to Keshawn Clark of North Carolina 3-2, and that was after Matthews had defeated Clark back in February. Matthews also had wins against Sebastian Rivera, Real Woods at that time wrestling for Stanford. 5th place finish last year for Matthews was the highest placing for Pitt in that weight class in Pitt history since Tyler Nauman achieved it back in 2010.
Cole Matthews will lull you to sleep, and then he will explode. You'll be looking at him and say, what? This guy was just moving so slow, but then his fast twitch muscles just explode.
You know, you push the fast forward button, Rock. These two met last year in the same spotlight, the battle for ACC glory. Matthews won it 3-2. Which wrestler has changed the most over the last 12 months, would you say?
I would have to say Ryan Jack. He has decided to buy into the coaches, not prick against the thorns. He said, I'm going to believe you coaches, I'm going to do what you say, and they've noticed it by making him team captain.
Look at some of the changes for Jack. He didn't ride a lot of people last year, and that's the first priority coming into this new season. He's been able to do that. He's in much better shape. And Papalizio was up front. He said maybe one of the better events that happened to Jack, even though it stung short-term, but long-term success, was having the disappointment at Nationals a year ago.
Probably. Losing does motivate you. But Sean doesn't feel like there's still like a hush after that last match where we're still trying to just reconnect.
Yes, there is that eerie calmness right now inside Reynolds. Kevin Jack, Ryan's older brother. Boy, he was a fun one to watch. Second all-time in program history, over 100 career wins. But I'll tell you what, it's night and day with the two brothers and their style of wrestling.
You're right. Similar to like his brother, they kind of crowd up and then try to get wrist control, finger control, and then stand up. And that's something that Cole Matthews does. He hooks the ankle to try and get the leg in. So he's hooking the ankle to try and get that right leg in. He's going to lift that leg up to try and get that leg in. And Jack's doing a good job of fighting it off.
Stay in here. One green, two green, three green, four green.
Good ride right here. Just being patient and knowing what he has to do. He's lowering the ankle and he's extending the ankle and keeping the pressure on the shoulders, leaning forward.
Still in.
This is all about folk style wrestling control. Good job. You see the quickness there? He did not let Jack get out.
Got 58, guys, 58.
One of the things that Cole Matthews has learned and he said he tries to do is always be calm. You can't tell where he is. You can't tell if he's exhausted. You can't tell if he's excited.
Doesn't he mirror the approach of his coach so much? I mean, you look at their demeanor, their body language, how they conduct themselves. Keith Gavin, Cole Matthews. And Matthews was big for Gavin. He was one of the first key recruits that he brought in, and the success that he has had, getting caught a little bit high and out of position here. And Matthews will bail out and just give up the one before that got really dicey.
Just being aware of where you are. Just knowing, am I in a position where I can continue to hold here, or just I need to just cut bait?
Center.
Found out just how tough Matthews was a couple of years ago. We both knew covering the Nationals that he was injured. We didn't know the severity of his injury until after the tournament. It was released that he was wrestling with a torn ACL. So he went through the repair after the Nationals a couple of years ago. He was fully healthy for Keith Gavin last year, and he produced the All-American finish, and he has even higher aspirations this season, and rightfully so.
He should. 24 seconds.
Red cover.
Is with the time.
Set.
that Cole Matthews needs to get out to keep the riding time, and he got out in 2 seconds. I mean, I don't know if Jack even tried to keep him down. But this is what happened last year in the finals. It went down to this last crazy scramble that Cole Matthews was able to come out on top. So right now, you see the score being 1-1. Cole Matthews has riding time.
Stay out of the fingers.
And if nothing happens and no score happens for the rest of this period, Cole Matthews will win the match because he has riding time. He has 1 minute and 22 seconds, meaning that that's going to be a point. So at this point here, so Matthews is just going to continue to hold position. Just know nothing really happens because Jack doesn't want to create too much offense because Cole Matthews is really good at reattacks.
Warning, green! Green, we're blocking!
Warning on Matthews. That's his first stall call. Tied at 1, but with the riding time for Matthews, Jack needs the takedown in the closing 30 seconds.
And Jack thinks the center gets center. Because with his back out like that, now this is where he wants to be. He wants to be here. And so look at it. So smart wrestling here. Cole Matthews says, I'm not going to shoot you out. I'm just going to make sure that you can't shoot me out.
Short time.
One last push for Jack.
He's going to look for a throw here. He's going to try an inside trip.
3,
Nothing
2,
there.
1.
Another championship for Cole Matthews. Typical Cole Matthews match. Controlled, never really in danger, but does enough and wins an ACC championship.
Cole Matthews, just like he did last year, a 1-point win against Jack in 2022. It's a 1-point win here in Raleigh tonight. A 2-time ACC champ, the very first recruit in Gavin's initial class. And he heads to Tulsa with all sorts of momentum. 149, you talk about youth, here we go. 2 of the younger wrestlers in the ACC, but both outstanding. Caleb Henson, the top seed, ranked 8th. What a year it's been, 20-3. Jackson Arrington just keeps getting better and better, the 2 seed at 19-6. So what a story here with the freshman immediately making an impact here in this conference.
Immediately. I love the fact that both of these freshmen were expected to start when they were recruited by their coaches.
Arrington, the freshman from the state of Pennsylvania, Forest Hills High School. On a little bit of a late roll, he had won his last 4 matches heading into the ACCs, obviously has added to the total. And here comes his opponent, Caleb Henson, supremely confident. What a year, going unbeaten in the ACCs. Take a look at his losses this year. His last setback, January 6th, losing to Yanni Biakamahalis 6-2. His other losses to Brock Mahler and Doug Zapp, a pin and sudden victory. The world was introduced to Henson early in his career when he took down Sammy Sasso, who we both watched win a Big Ten championship earlier today.
Sure did. And Henson is going to be right in your face. And one of the things that Coach Popolizio and Coach Hall said about their last match, they were disappointed that Arrington did not shoot more and show more offense. They expect him to show more of what he's capable of doing. But Caleb Henson, he had a fantastic win in the semifinals against returning All-American Zach Sherman, where he rode him out the third period to win 2-0.
Yeah, he rode him out the entirety of that final period. Sherman was throwing everything at him from underneath and just could not figure out a way to get out.
We were talking to Arrington. He said, I had 6 losses in my whole high school career. I have 6 losses in my first year of wrestling in college. Whole different ball game when you go wrestle college wrestling.
But wasn't it refreshing how he followed
Fingers,
it
let him
up
go.
with,
Let him go. Get out
I've
of it.
always been a guy who takes a lot from my losses. Doesn't let it turn into consecutive losses down the road. He really breaks
Wrestle
it
out
down,
here. Wrestle
analyzes
out.
it,
Wrestle out.
and
Wrestle
learns
out.
and builds off it.
Good hip in. Now, Jackson needs to get out of this position because Caleb Henson is pretty good here. And watch the
neutral.
dive through. Watch it dive through.
We're neutral.
Caleb Henson needs to bring it
We're
back
neutral.
in. He went for a cradle. Surprisingly went for a cradle there as opposed to bringing it back to the center. Now we need to bring him back to the center. Brought him back to the center.
got it.
And
One.
soon as
Two
Arrington
green.
hopped in, that's when
Green.
Caleb Henson grabbed both
Four
legs.
green.
That little sequence right there is why Henson is so special. Went for the big move, went for the gamble, tried to hook up the cradle. No panic, didn't work, so what's he do? Repositions and gets the safe two that
we
you
go.
were looking for initially.
Okay, knees behind, hands in
We're
front
about
for
to
me,
see
okay?
if he can keep
Wait for me, I'll call
a
you on
monster
green.
ride. And the monster ride is
Bottom
mental
man
toughness.
set. Cover.
I'm seeing more and more in the ACC and also across the country. The first thing that I see wrestlers do from a top position is what's called a double thigh pry. They put both of their hands on the inside of the thigh, drive forward to get to something else. It's trying to bump the person off of their base.
Tripoding up and kicking away.
On.
Arrington
Neutral.
gets the escape, 2-1.
At this point, Arrington has got to continue to move forward because we
Wrestle through
know
this.
that Caleb Henson is not going to back up.
Battle in here. Battle in. Battle in here.
So the quick
Battle
look
in
at the
here.
time.
Battle in here.
Couple of blue chippers battling for the ACC title at 149.
Green, your
Jackson
choice,
Arrington had a lot of
Down.
different choices
Green,
coming out of high
down.
school in Forest Hills, and he chose
Wait
North
for me.
Carolina State
Wait.
because there were so
Knees
many
behind, hands in front for
Pennsylvania
me.
guys
Set.
already on the roster.
Cover
Obviously,
legal.
the Hidley brothers had a huge impact. Both Trent and Hayden would come up and visit the camps in Pennsylvania for the Young Guns. Ed Scott was a member of the Young Guns as well. So there was already a firm pipeline between the state of PA and into Raleigh, and there's one of the PA guys right there now, the coach, and Papalizio has done a
Okay,
terrific
set.
job
Cover
recruiting
legal.
the state.
The state, and once people start to know that you're good, you can start going into the Midwest and the
Work
West
on.
because
Stay
people
on.
know that
Stay
you
on.
develop talent. And not just that, you develop talent, but also you attract blue chippers. Because blue chippers say, hey, they're not just developing people that weren't very talented, they're still developing the high-level guys as well. Look at the Hidley brothers.
Henson trying to rip at the grip. Good job here, persistence by Arrington to ride him all the way out of bounds for a restart in the center. A minute 41, second period. No real surprise here. He knew this was going to be
Cover.
tight. 2-1. Henson holds serve for now.
Both guys, you see, did the thigh pride. Now, at some point, Jackson Arrington has to make an attempt to get out. It's all about attempts. It's not necessarily returning, it's attempts. And good low hits by Caleb Henson
Work on.
to
Work
get the
on.
escape.
Center in. Center in.
Caleb Henson wins here. He can get a decent seed at the Nationals.
Henson getting to the left arm, 2-on-1. Both wrestlers have had an opportunity on top. Arrington unable to get any turn. Henson not much luck with the ride after his initial takedown in the first period. And one thing unique with these two freshman wrestlers, both are really outstanding on top, which is somewhat unique for freshmen coming into the caliber of conference that the ACC has. I think you asked
Let him go.
Jackson
Let him
the
go. Stay out
question,
of
well,
it.
what's the key for you? And he says it's the Pennsylvania thing. We're used to it.
We're neutral.
Long
Wrestle
range
here.
shot here
Wrestle
by
out of this.
Arrington. Hips on the
We're
sprawl back
neutral.
by
Wrestle through
Henson.
this.
Those are heavy hips. He needs to reach back and try and break the grip. There he is, reaching back to break the grip. And right there, he went right to the shot. He's got short time. He's got to finish quickly. He got almost 5 seconds. Nothing yet. That's not a takedown. There's no control.
You don't have it?
Almost.
Red choice.
Caleb Henson just keeps wrestling. It doesn't matter where he is on the mat. It doesn't matter how much time is left. He keeps wrestling. Now, we said this in the semifinals that Caleb Henson had a monster ride in the third period, all about mental toughness. And these type of matches where it's tight like this helps you for the NCAAs. Both of these guys are going to NCAAs. They just got to learn from this match.
3 wrestlers from this weight. The automatic allocations assigned earlier in the week. Arrington trying to figure out a way to get up into a tripod. See Henson's right arm with that thigh pry. Arrington trying to clear it out. So what's Henson do? Drops to the waist.
Still you, Green. Still Green.
Whizzer applied by Arrington with his left shoulder.
Green.
Keep an eye on the knee underneath, and the referee does just that, potentially dangerous.
And why is this good? It's good because Caleb Henson wants to try and learn to keep a good wrestler down to get to riding time. So once again, he's keeping things tight. He's keeping things tight and working. Went to a Navy there, but good job on the side. Good job on the side of Arrington to keep that Whizzer riding time is still going. Still Whizzer.
1, 2.
I mean, you got to be impressed with this. He is willing himself. He said, I'm not going to let this guy go. I'm not going. He's looking for the count.
Out.
He is literally saying, I am not going to give this up. I mean, the mental toughness of this freshman is outstanding. Most people say, let's go on our feet. He said, no, I'm going to beat you on the mat.
In our conversation with Henson earlier this year, he talked about the rise of Georgia wrestling. A lot of the credit, he says, comes from the competitive spirit and the high energy level guys coming back to the state of Georgia with their roots to help out current high schoolers. Guys like Chip Ness, Peter Yates, Sean Russell, all Georgia guys coming back to help out. Toughness personified here with Henson, 3-1. We saw him right out Sherman in the third period earlier in the semifinals, doing the same here on Arrington.
This guy, he is mentally, I can't say how impressed I am. He does not have to keep doing this. He's got riding time secured, and he's making a statement. He is making a statement here. Stingy defense wins tight matches. Jackson Arrington has got to believe, hey, look, I got to just score. I got to find a way to score. Even though I may not win, I just got to figure out how to score against this guy. And Caleb Henson is not having it. There it is.
Virginia Tech has won their second individual title tonight. Tony Roby has a pretty special freshman with Caleb Henson. 2 guys just starting their careers. They will see a lot of one another over the next few years. Henson, in his ACC championship debut, brings home the title to Blacksburg at 49. We close the night with the marquee matchup. Austin O'Connor, the national champ. Bryce Endonian, Virginia Tech. A little less than 2 weeks away, join us from Tulsa for the NCAA Wrestling Championships. Coverage begins March 16th at noon on ESPNU. And then the championship finals on March 18th, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN and streaming on the ESPN app. Well, without a doubt, the match of the night happened at 1:33 in OT. Kai Arini gets the fall over the Two-time ACC champion Mickey Philippi Orini winning the ACC gold at 133. Big smile on his face. Those wrestlers heading to Tulsa. At 157, so will these two. Austin O'Connor, he has had one thing on his mind this year, and that is to get back on top. The national champion for North Carolina. He is healthy this year. Bryce Endonian, after a injury-riddled first half of the season, returned in January. His only loss to Austin O'Connor. In fact, Endonian has never beat O'Connor. He is 0-4, the two getting ready to meet for the 5th time tonight. First year at 157 for Endonian, bumping up from 149.
His opponent, the top seed from North Carolina, a graduate of
Speaking of 149, that's the weight Austin O'Connor won his national crown at a couple of years ago. The ACC runner-up last year, the two-time ACC champ, ended last year with a torn ACL. Tried to wrestle through it in Detroit. Had to medically forfeit out of the NCAAs. Still becoming an All-American, wrestling on one leg, placing 8th. The second 4-time All-American
Clean hands, guys.
in program history when you look at Austin O'Connor. And he has certainly looked in championship form really since we started the season.
Big implications for this match, because Peyton Robb stepping over, nothing there. Fundamental defense. We see a lot at stake here because Peyton Robb, the #1 ranked wrestler from Nebraska, lost in the finals,
Action center, guys.
which would open up the
Action
#1
center.
seed possibility for Austin O'Connor if he were to win this match. You also wonder with Bryce Andoni, he has never beaten Austin O'Connor. 4 tries, no wins.
Keep it legal.
Endonian, the senior from Kirtland, Ohio, 3-time qualifier like O'Connor. He was an All-American last year, placed 3rd in Detroit.
No control.
Edge of the mat, waterfall position here for Endonian.
No control. No
Look for the
control.
neutral danger. Nothing's happened here. Looks like we get to a stalemate
No control.
position.
Stop. Stalemate.
Stalemate, no one can improve.
Neutral.
Double overs, pops the hips in. He has a freestyle background. Good balance by both wrestlers there.
It's a big match for Endonian. 3-time he has come up 1
Clean
win
hands, guys.
shy of the ACC gold. 3-time runner-up, has lost to O'Connor twice in the finals. Tariq Wilson last year. 2 minutes in, no score.
And the way that you wrestle Bryce Andoni is pretty much the way that Austin O'Connor is doing it right now. Solid position. And just, he's wrestling at a different level right now. That's just absolute quickness for him. Absolute quickness. Watch he's going to reach over.
1, escape red.
And usually Bryce Andoni reaches back to reach over, and Andonian does that, and Austin O'Connor said, hey, look, let's get out of this.
Watch the head gears, guys.
Short time, 10 seconds here in this opening period. O'Connor looking for more. Endonian trying to roll his way through. Now he pries into the right knee of O'Connor and will end with a 2-1 scrum after 3 minutes.
Blood stoppage, red. Stop.
You look at
Blood
this
stoppage, red.
weight class at 157. Peyton
it right
Robb,
here.
who Rock
Going
was
over here.
talking about, ranked #1. O'Connor sitting
over here.
second. Frantic of North Dakota State. Josh Humphreys, man, he is a hammer on top. And then you have Andonian ranked number 5. So ACC well represented. Humphreys is a fun one to watch from Lehigh. You do not want to go underneath them.
You know, I was looking at, and I'm not sure if I saw this properly, but did Austin O'Connor just wipe the blood of Andonian off of him onto Andonian? It looked like he just wiped the blood on him. I don't know if we can see that, but
it's a blood timeout as they work on Andonian. Good look at Bryce. We had an interesting talk with him this week, didn't we?
Sure did.
He's a fun guy to chat with, and you know, we asked him, did you watch a lot of wrestling when you were younger, and who did you grow up aspiring to, if there was anybody that fit that category? And he said, no, you know, I really didn't watch a lot of folk style wrestling, but the one wrestler that I really enjoyed watching was Rey Mysterio. What do you say to that?
So this is what I was talking about before. So there's some blood. And then he just said, let me wipe this blood on you. Little mental games.
The match inside the match, if you will. Blood cleaned up.
Still green.
Andonian is away. And we're
red.
tied at
Neutral.
2.
Austin O'Connor is deceptively quick. I didn't anticipate him being as quick as he was on that first takedown, and almost the second one. He dropped down really nice there, but good hips by Andonian.
O'Connor trying to attack the ankle. Goes right back down to the lower half.
He's got a half.
Does not decide to run with it. Looked like he was in a position maybe to put Andonian over.
Did a good job there. He had the underhook, and he did a cross ankle pick. Not same side, cross ankle pick, and got both ankles. When you have someone that's kind of crafty like Andonian, you want to shoot below the knees so he doesn't have time to get his hips around. 4-3 match here.
Keep it legal. Action center, guys.
Austin O'Connor, again, he's not afraid to just go in there and bang with Andonian. Once again, just jockeying and jockeying. So Andonian wants to make sure he doesn't do anything to get out of good position. Once you get out of good position, that's when Bryce Andonian is extremely dangerous. Nothing there. Take down. Take down.
Two officials will confer and make sure the takedown given to O'Connor. Meanwhile, O'Connor and Andonian stay tangled up underneath. Andonian has his headgear off, and I think he's bleeding. Take us through it, Rock. Is this 2?
So he drops down, clips, and let's see where control. So not yet, because there's still reaction time. At that point, everything was out of bounds. I can't see the left leg if the toe was still in. So if we can get a wider angle to see if that foot was in. So here he steps behind and he drops down. Control has not been established. He's trying to roll through, out of bounds. They're out. They're out at that point. When you saw, we talked about the cylinder to the sky. The cylinder to the sky would suggest that they were out at that moment.
So take us through the review process, an independent review with the matches here tonight.
Well, here's a little different. This is a referee's decision. So the referee said that we want to take a look at this. If it was an independent reviewer, it would have been a brick coming out there, and then the independent reviewer would look at it. But the official said, let us look at it to make sure we got the call right. A little difference there. So they're looking at it. From what I saw, everything was out of bounds, even in the cylinder. It looked like it was out of bounds. Therefore, control was not established while his feet were in bounds. So I would say no takedown there. So it's kick, nothing elevated, everything's out of bounds. Let me see, actually, let me look at the right foot of Bryce Andonian. So he kicks up. That right foot, where's that right foot? The neutral position, no takedown.
You're 2 for 2 today.
Prepping for the Nationals.
So take out the 2 for O'Connor. Back to a 1-point match. Inside 10 seconds to go. Both wrestlers should be fresh after the lengthy delay. Andonian all cleaned up with his blood as well. And a 1-point lead right now for Austin O'Connor. Immediately he goes down to both knees. Man, he has been so important for Coleman Scott. You look at what he has accomplished. The national championship run a couple of years ago. 4-time All-American. Beat Sasso in 2021 to earn the title. First Carolina title since '95.
You saw what Coach Frayer and Coach Brewer did. They put up 2 fingers in 2 minutes. 2 minutes, meaning 2 minutes. Bryce, you can do this. 5-3, right in time is not making a difference. Oh, look at this. Look at this. That's a take. No takedown yet? No takedown yet. So they're holding that. Nothing yet. No takedown yet. He's going to look for neutral danger. Too late to throw the brick now.
No control.
Nothing yet. Actually, better position here. That's a takedown.
Andonian comes out on top of that exchange. O'Connor gets the quick point. And now a stoppage, and a brick is at the feet of Coleman Scott, and it goes back to that initial exchange that you were talking about.
Here's the question. They waited for such a long time to throw the brick. And at that point, he said, look, he threw the brick, and then you could see them saying, hand touch, hand touch. That hand touch was 30-plus seconds ago. So at that point, they're going to say, look, we want to question that. If you question something, you've got to throw the brick immediately. So at that point, no brick. Can't do it. You can't do it. At that point, if he had a question on that, he should have thrown it there. You can't throw the brick once your guy gets out of position. You see it, you throw the brick. And so it was a question of judgment call, saying that you question the referee's judgment. And therefore, the brick wasn't even considered.
So the escape right now by O'Connor, the difference maker, and O'Connor on the reshot comes in. No points awarded yet. Andonian in defense.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's reaction time. And I know that UNC is upset, but it's reaction time. Reaction time is something that can be considered by the official. It is definitely reaction time. So if you fall to your butt and it keeps going, reaction time. Now, Bryce Andonian, he's got to go for a sprint right now. Sprint right now for Bryce Andonian, and Austin O'Connor is going to hold position. I don't know why he circled out of bounds. That doesn't make sense here. Uh-oh. Watch the throw. Good defense by Austin O'Connor here. Good job here.
Stop. Great match.
So the argument can be said that, hey, there was something wrong with there. That was a bad call, but hey, it's reaction time. There is no reaction time on rear standing hand touch. Otherwise, it is definitely reaction time.
Austin O'Connor, a 5-time ACC finalist. He has won his 3rd ACC title. ACC champion in 20 and 21, and now back on top here in 23 as the conversation continues. And Rock, what a day of wrestling, a day we both were looking forward to for a very long time. The hardware about to be distributed for the 5th consecutive year. NC State comes out on top.
They're starting to be the D word, and the D word is dynasty. They are starting to build up something great here in Reynolds. They have the crowd, they have the fan base, they also have really good wrestlers, and it's great to wrestle where it's nice and warm. They're looking good and looking positioned to do something well at the NCAAs.
A record-setting crowd inside Reynolds Coliseum, and they get treated to another Wolfpack ACC championship. Congratulations to Pat Popolizio and your 2023 ACC champs. For Rock Harrison, this is Sean Kinney saying so long from Raleigh. All roads now lead to Tulsa as the ACC will send a strong contingency to the state of Oklahoma, trying to bring back NCAA hardware. Good night from Raleigh.